Hello and welcome to day 7 of my conversion card challenge to see how well James Wedmore's powerful language patterns convert to academic writing, with mixed results so far. So for today we've got the unwanted identity. To strengthen the power of the consequence, you can attach the unwanted action or thinking to an unwanted identity or group of people. The formula: unwanted identity plus unwanted action plus consequence. Okay, this is a little confusing, but I'll do my best with it. Example in action. Most struggling entrepreneurs make the mistake of thinking a vision isn't important, but without it, you'll just float around staying busy with nothing to show for it. Just as a bit of an aside, I would argue that having a vision is equally important as a student, because if you don't have the vision of who it is you want to be by the end of it, or what you want to get out of your university experience, then it's really hard to keep that intrinsic motivation going. And by that I mean, in contrast to extrinsic motivation, which is, for example, society's pressure and your family expectations that, if they've spent a lot of money on your degree, they expect you to graduate with a first. I mean, that can be motivational in some ways, but studies have shown that intrinsic motivation is far more powerful in kind of maintaining the stamina and helping people to achieve difficult things and reach their goals. So that's really important. In terms of academic writing, you probably realize by now that if you're a marketing student, you're studying communications or business or anything like that, then these language patterns are likely to be very useful for any authentic assessments that you have, which may involve creating some kind of marketing copy or writing a pamphlet, a sales pitch, that kind of thing. That it is becoming more and more common for universities to set assignments like these for students nowadays. However, in terms of adapting it to more academic, traditional styles of academic writing, I'll just give you an example. So it wouldn't be about your reader's identity, but again, because of the objectivity of academia, you'd be talking more about the research field and where the research field is now and where we would want it to go in the future. So I had a consultation with a midwifery student the other day, and she was working on sickle cell disease and what kind of outcomes there are for women in antenatal care. And so what we identified basically was that the current research field tends to be limited. So current research is either focused on sickle cell disease or on antenatal care, but there is an intersectionality of, where the two meet. So the issue with that is that, it's very difficult to then provide recommendations for how to improve practice for women in the antenatal ward or, women having antenatal care who also have sickle cell disease. So how would we apply James's language pattern to this example? So you could say something like, most research is either focused on sickle cell disease or antenatal care. So it's not an unwanted identity as such, but this is the current limitations of how things are at the moment. However, without intersectional research on both these areas, it is difficult to address complications or improve protocols to ensure optimal care for women in antenatal wards who have sickle cell disease. So we're talking about the limitations of the current research field, but also then looking forward to how to improve the situation and what the consequences will be. So it'll be improved protocols, better outcomes for these women. Okay, so that's all for today. Do join me for tomorrow on day 8 of the conversion card challenge. Bye!